Hello, this lesson is for elementary friends. In keeping with this week's theme of animals, we are going to be making a three-dimensional cat. And if Sophia wants to zoom in on it a little bit, I think this is a really cool project. You can see that it stands up all by itself, which is cool in and of itself. And the cat that Sophia is zooming in on is supposed to be somewhat realistic. It's kind of modeled after a cat that I used to have named Clyde, who was a calico. But this cat could be made as a crazy cat too. It doesn't have to be in realistic colors. Sophia, you might want to take a little zoom on that. There's one that's in sort of crazy patterns and colors. So the supplies for this lesson are very simple. The template right here, Sophia, is going to be in the black tote. So if you choose to do this particular project, you can just go to Northside. There's a black tote by the back door, and this will be labeled for this lesson for elementary. You also will need some markers, or crayons would also work just fine. You're going to need a scissors and probably a pencil. That's it. So easy supplies today, which probably is kind of nice. All right, thanks Sophia for coming back. Oh, I'll keep you out there so you can get up. All right, so here's the template, and I've made the outlines a little darker so that you can see what I'm doing. Probably the most difficult or time part of this lesson that takes some time is that you actually have to color both sides. In order to get the three-dimensional cat, you have to have four sides of your cat colored. So I'm going to explain that and show you exactly what I mean. So your template does not have your cat eyes on it. So you can go ahead and put your eyes in. That's what I would do first with a pencil. All right. So I'm just going to make a kind of shape, an ovalish shape that I think looks cat-ish. All right. All right, so we don't have the features of our cat on the front here. I'm also going to give my kitty a nose, and I'll add some whiskers maybe later. We'll see. All right, I'm going to add this part too. All right. Now this cat, I've decided I am going to model after a cat that I used to have named Camilla, and she was black with some white. Okay. And I'm going to start by doing my eyes, I think, first. And Camilla sort of had, what do you think, Sophia? Did she have greenish eyes? I think she had green eyes. Okay, so I'm going to give her some green irises here. And I'm sure you've noticed when you look at a kitty, if you have one, their pupil isn't round. It's more like that. All right, so
Speaking of kitties.
There's our kitty by the door. She wants in. All right, I'm going to give this kitty a pink nose. All right, so now I have those main features, eyes and nose. And I guess I should give my kitty a mouth now too, because Camilla was a black kitty, so this kitty's going to be all black. So I want to make sure I already put that mouth in there so I don't color over it. I'm going to be using a big black Sharpie, but as I said, any kind of marker would work, or crayons as well. So I'm going to start by outlining my kitty. I also have my kitty, Camilla, had white paws, so I'm going to leave the paws white. So I'm not outlining those. She had a little bit of white on her ears, so I'm going to make kind of a little, what I hope looks sort of like a furry line there. And leave that part white as well. I think I'll go around my eyes. Oh, my kitty's unhappy. she wants to come in.
Should we just let her?
Yeah, let me just stop. Let me just finish this and I'll let her in. Okay, so now we've got that outlined. Let me let my kitty in 1 second.
Oh, you're such a baby. Come on in.
All right, so now this is just a matter of filling this in. And again, remember that you can turn your paper any way you like to fill in. And I have, since I'm using a Sharpie, I have another piece of paper underneath because I really don't want to get Sharpie marker on my table. And everybody has kind of their own methods for coloring. I sort of like to go in long lines until, of course I have to go around these features. The face will probably be the hardest part for you to color. Okay, let's go around the eyes. Now if you're using crayons, this could actually be a lot simpler. It's a little tricky with markers. There we go, now I've got the wide part of my marker. I think I'm going to go all around the features first and get that completed.
Mom, she had a little white on her chin though.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that. She did have a little white chin.
The cutest little white chin.
She was a very sweet kitty. We've had quite a few sweet kitties. I hope that some of the friends have had the pleasure of having a kitty as well. Or maybe you have a dog as a pet, some sort of pet that's really nice to have. We've always had cats, we've never had a dog. All right, so I'm getting through the head here. And as I mentioned when we started, I think this is kind of a lengthy project. It may take you might not want to do it all in one sitting is what I mean. You might decide, oh, I'm just going to do one of the sides, because you basically have to do 4 sides of this cat, which takes quite a bit of time. I know that when we did this in the classroom last year, I think it took friends at least 2 class periods to complete this. So, because it's a lot of coloring. But I believe that everybody was very happy with their project when they finished it. All right, so I'm going to just follow the outline here of my, actually I do need to outline that so I don't go into it. The shape of the side of my cat. Oh, I've almost called her Camilla, because now I've got Camilla on the brain here with doing this.
Mom, are you sure you want to color in the whole thing?
I do.
Okay.
Okay. I know it's going to take some time. I won't do all 4 sides for the demonstration. Let me just get this one done so friends can get a good idea of what it's going to be like. I also, I already took the liberty of coloring the back sides of these so that in the interest of saving a little bit of time for the demonstration, but I just want to do one side of this one. Okay. I'm just going to go right down like that. And I am going off my paper a little bit onto the paper that I have so that I don't wreck my table. So you can see this is going not too slowly, huh? Making some progress here. I do have this extra wide Sharpie that is quite nice. I'm sort of surprised that it's still working because I've used it so much. But I guess it's a good one. All right, so we've got half done. Let's keep going. We're almost there. And that's as much as I will do today. The front of one, so because I'm sure you get the idea. wanted to mention that on this piece of the cat that I'm making right now, I made the eyes and the face, the features of the face on this side, but on the other side, it will turn out to be the back side of the cat. So you don't need to have eyes and nose and mouth. Just fill it in. You'll see. I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, I think that's pretty good for the front side. I've got a couple spots to fill in here. This Camilla was all black, except for a little bit of white. All right, I think I want to put a little more pink in here. There we go, that looks a little better. All right, so what you would do next is you could either start on this one or you could finish this one first. So how you would do that is you're going to have to cut it out. All right, and this is pretty simple cutting, my friends, which is good. Again, remember you can turn your paper. I'm going to come from this angle. Comes off much easier that way. In fact, I'm just going to cut it right in half. Always seems easier to cut when you have less paper around the outside. I think it'll be easier to come in from this angle. So there we go. Okay, so there we go. We have one side of our cat completed, and then in the interest of time, I actually colored the back side as well. All right, so you notice that this side is just all the same color on my particular cat. It's supposed to be the back of Camilla, so all I see are her little white tipped ears. So for this one, this is the side view of your kitty. So you're going to need a nose and a mouth on this side. And Camilla had a white tipped tail, so that's what's staying there. And I took the liberty of coloring it on this side. So both sides of your side view need a nose and a mouth, okay? But no eyes, just nose and mouth, all right? So I'm going to cut this one out so that I can show you how they fit together. This one's a little trickier to cut out because of this tail. I am confident that you can do it. All right, so come down here to the bottom, and then I'm going to flip my paper around because it's easier for me to cut this way. Be careful not to cut that tail though. Actually, I think it'll be easier to come from this side now. All right, almost done. Coming down the home stretch. All right, so now we have our 4 pieces and only one side is not colored. So I'm going to just ask you to try to imagine that this side is colored. I'm not doing that in the interest of saving some time. Okay, so we have 2 pieces. Now let's look carefully at this and see if we can figure out how did I get it to stand up like that. If you look carefully, somehow they fit together. All right, I'm going to show you. We pull them apart. Each one has a cut. So from the side view of the kitty, we take and we cut to about that point. So let's do that. All right, so here's my side view. I'm going to take my scissors and cut near the middle as close as I can come and cut about, I would say, 2/3 of the way up. And if we didn't go far enough, we can always adjust it. Okay, so there's one. And this one, we cut from the top, All right, so if I turn this upside down, you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to start from the middle and go about a little less than halfway. Okay. All right, so I'm trying to go right down the middle. All right, and now let's try to fit them together. This one. And you have to get it to stand up, you have to have the bottom lined up properly. That's what's important.
Kind of like an X.
Yes, good point. Okay, let's see if we can get it. That's pretty good. All right, let's try it with our new kitty. All right. Oops, I think I have it backwards. There we go. That's the way. All right, now I can tell that I can't get them quite together, so I have to make one of my cuts a little longer. All right, so I'm going to make this one a little bit longer. If you can't get the bottom to match up, one of your cuts needs to be made just a little longer. All right, let's try that. Okay, I think I got it. All right, we'll put it this way so you can see a little more what it's going to look like. Let's set it there. Here we go.
Here.
All right, so there's our 3D cat for the animal themed week. This, I'm so excited to see pictures of projects that have been completed, and let me know if the cat you complete is modeled after one that you have as a pet. That would be really fun. Or, as I said before, you can just do a crazy colored cat that isn't realistic at all. So have fun with this project, friends. See you next week. Bye.